Alright guys, TacticalRab here and today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Just over 12 months after FormaL announced his retirement from competitive Call of Duty, he has now won another event at HCS Orlando, now on the Halo side with OpTic Halo. Congratulations to that entire team. We're going to look at so much reaction today, especially because the World Championship in Halo is coming up in just a few weeks' time. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. Plenty to discuss today. Let's just hop straight into things. Game 1 of their winners final match here up against FaZe. FormaL making plays as per usual. Honestly, I don't know if they crowned an MVP of the event. I tried to look into it. I couldn't really see one, but a lot of people would say that FormaL was, Lucid, of course, maybe their best player, but yeah, FormaL was making plays from start to finish this weekend. And as Crimsix will say here in a second, Sunday FormaL certainly showed up when it mattered here on the Championship Sunday in, of course, the OpTic Championship Whites. But yeah, this was game 1 of their winners finals match, a rematch, of course, of their group play game where they beat FaZe in game 5. This was more convincing, and honestly their entire tournament run here, OpTic, was incredibly convincing, especially in the winners bracket, and well, certainly so given the fact that the World Championship is only a few weeks away. Game 1 went OpTic's way without too much difficulty, then the series was over 3-0, and OpTic onto the grand finals straight away at the start of Championship Sunday. People were roasting Spartan a bit for this, because it is unlucky game 1, because my PC was running at horrible FPS, got smoked game 2 and 3 anyways, GG's to OpTic, so people, of course, you know how it is, people are going to say to reply, wow, excuses, whatever, but still decent performance from FaZe. They end up coming top 3 after FaZe get taken down by Cloud9 in the losers bracket. Cloud9, I was surprised they dropped down to losers so early, but this was the team that, I think Sentinels won the events before this one, but Cloud9 before that were the dominant force in the early part of Halo Infinite, where effectively, it's the Shotzzy team that won the World Championship in, was it 2018 or whatever, on Halo 5, now with Penguin instead of Shotzzy there, same roster, and same results in the early part of this game. As FormaL says, job's not done, one more victory required. And then, of course, the HCS Orlando Grand Final begins. Game 1 goes OpTic's way pretty comfortably. I think it was a CTF. And yeah, look at this. Fans are doing backflips and stuff. Honestly, I think Adamapaceta was saying as well, COD fans need to up their game next time there's a COD LAN, because, yeah, some of these fans were going rogue as per usual. And yeah, look at this game 1, right? The domination in terms of the slaying departments here. FormaL's 28-15. Nothing they could do about it on the Cloud9 side. So yeah, Cloud9 made a great losers bracket run to the Grand Finals, but OpTic were just not going to be stopped here, right? It's a crazy team, really. Lucid, Trippy, like even aBeZy still being there. Like, this guy is such a veteran of Halo Esports veteran. This guy's been around for what, probably 15 years, competing or something. Like, it's absolutely crazy how long of career he has had. And FormaL in a similar boat from Halo way back in the day to coming to Call of Duty. I guess probably like middle 2014 or whatever, he actually made the transition. But yeah, of course, 1 year later in 2015 on the OpTic Dynasty, all the success that he had, winning the World Championship in COD in 2017, then retiring just last season, looking like his competitive career is done, feeling like, you know what, Halo's come out, let's give it a go, working his way back onto the OpTic team, and now all of a sudden he's winning events again. So an honestly incredible storyline here. And I mean, yeah, I don't know why the screenshot is stuck here, but anyway, at this point it was 2-1. Cloud9 took, I believe, the King of the Hill, which I don't know if that was actually a game mode at the start of the season, but they play it now, which is pretty cool, basically a hardpoint type thing. And yeah, OpTic though, they got 3-1, they win the strongholds, and they cap it off with a dominant victory here on the Slayer in the final map of the series anyway. I mean, yeah, well, that was the same one we looked at, but yeah, they win the Slayer pretty comfortably, and that's GG. 4-1 to OpTic in the grand finals. FormaL, I mean, yeah, what a crazy performance, right? I'm sure the entire team, of course, worked incredibly hard with Lunchbox as well as their coach, and I'm sure they feel like this is kind of a warm-up for the World Championship win. We saw, yeah, what was that crazy? I think it was a quote, actually. Maybe it was at Orlando back in Black Ops 3. I'm not exactly sure. But some of you guys might well know that Crimsix, after the event, he said, this is just warming up. This is just practice for the big one. Of course, that year, they didn't win the World Championship. It was the next season. But yeah, it's OpTic Halo back on top. Crazy storyline, the fact that, they dropped Pistola for FormaL. There was questions about it. Initially, their performances, I think their first event they played, it wasn't so good. Then since then, they've become incredibly good online. Some players were like, yeah, these OpTic guys kind of just onliners, because they won this NA Super recently. That was an online tournament. And now they've won the Orlando Major. And now the Halo World Championship is just around the corner. And look, it's been no secret how talented FormaL is, and like how good this guy's been for the entirety of his COD career, but also, his Halo career before that. I think he even won an event in Orlando in his Halo days back in like 2011 or something crazy like that. And now he's won it again here in 2022. So his career has had incredible lifespan. And I mean, honestly, if he goes on, I guess OpTic now are favourites for the World Championship, right, in just a few weeks' time in the middle of October. And I mean, that would be an unbelievable storyline, because, of course, FormaL World Champion in Call of Duty 2017, it now is, potentially there for him to get a World Championship in Halo in 2022. I guess the only other guy to have done that and done a World Championship in Halo and COD, I guess, has to be Shotzzy, right? She did it in, I think it was 2018, and then 2020 in the Call of Duty side in Modern Warfare. But of course, you know, that was online. It's always going to have a little bit of less weight and less shine on it, just because it wasn't a LAN trophy. And, you know, FormaL, I guess, has the chance to do that. So remarkable scenes, of course. And yeah, of course, congratulations to the entire lineup. As I say, I'm not really sure there was an MVP crowned. I guess people, you know, Lucid, of course, but FormaL, I think, what I was saying, like, this guy, such a difference maker. We know how good his communication is, his composure under pressure. Like, I mean, this guy doesn't get hyped unless it's absolutely necessary. It's a joy to watch, honestly, at times. Listening to their comms, the way FormaL can command the troops at time and also make the perfect play every single time. It's great to see FormaL actually seemingly enjoying it, playing a game again from a competitive perspective. I think this raises some really interesting questions, actually, about the future of some of these Call of Duty guys, because FormaL's now 27. Of course, he retired last year from COD. Like, I mean, he effectively got dropped from the OpTic. Well, it was OpTic Chicago, but it was becoming OpTic Texas. The team said, you know, FormaL wasn't necessarily giving his 100%, wasn't the player that he used to be in COD, and therefore, you know, he was effectively going to get let go, and he thought, well, you know, instead of going to another COD team, I don't really enjoy the new Call of Duties anyway, I'm just going to retire effectively and call it, well, I hang up the sticks. And then Halo came around and he thought, you know what, let's give it a go. And in a game that he now enjoys again, things are going rather well. And FormaL's record in Orlando also is worthy of note. You guys can see here, of course, an event, I mean, this must be Advanced Warfare, right? UMG Orlando 2015, when the OpTic Dynasty won this event. Well, pre-OpTic Dynasty, you could argue, when Nature was on the team, but still, that was in Orlando. I'm pretty sure the World Championship in Infinite Warfare was also in Orlando when he won that one, and now he's won it again. So yes, FormaL in Orlando is absolutely undefeated. But wanted to look at some reaction to this really from some of the pros. Of course, you know, Scump was watching this in a watch party. We've got Crimsix's reaction. Octane as well was getting involved, heaping the praise on, of course, and understandably so.
We ever tell that story publicly or no?
I was told, yo, what do we want? I was like, all right,
should we remind them? Be the moment to do it for OpTic. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Is over. Your champions.
Yo, these guys are all banned.
Why do you keep saying you had a drink?
I'm gonna get hungover.
Yo,
for real.
dude, Ray, he's been bringing it up all day. Wait,
I'm so happy for these two right here, man, for real. It was only a matter of time.
Now, as you pass the mic over to the King Orlando, one of the kings of Halo, aBeZy, your champion again. Talk to the fans.
Bro,
I text Matt at Tippable.
I mean, we have
Tippable.
we have about like 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You know the vibes, man.
Yeah, boy.
OpTic just so
Yeah, dude. Yo, beta time suck?
good.
What if FormaL deal? He on everyone again? Sunday FormaL showed up. They won Halo Orlando. Dope. Congratulations. Who's not? Is aBeZy still on their team? Bradley? The actual designer, the only gamer model.
See the pipe won the Halo event? Yeah, Matt's a Gigachad for that, dude. He came to COD, just on everyone for years, and was like, you know what? I'm tired of this COD. I'm going back. That's the most typical I've ever seen in my life. He said, yeah, I've seen what Call of Duty's turning into. I'm going back to Halo. Oh, just kidding. I won again. Like, how alpha is that, dude? He literally is alpha the entire Halo scene. Jesus Christ, brother. Pick up your jaw. It's on the floor. I don't know what to tell you. Oh my God, brother.
So as FormaL tweets out after the event, feels so good to tweet this. HCS Orlando champions with the boys. Couldn't be more proud of how far we have come and the resilience we showed all weekend. All love, man. We worked really hard for this. So of course, only a few weeks away now from the World Championship to start. But honestly, yeah, what a career FormaL has had. Even as Scump says, you know, congrats boys, well played, Tribute Lucid, aBeZy, FormaL, and of course Coach Lunchbox as well. So cool to see the reaction, right? I thought that, you know, Crimsix's reaction as well was also kind of nice when he was just saying, oh wow, yeah, FormaL did Sunday FormaL show up, because of course he knows like what Sunday FormaL used to be like back in the day and how he delivers on the championship Sundays. And then Octane was like, yeah, that's incredibly impressive that a player can actually achieve that, right? I also do think Crimsix must be thinking a little bit here. I'm going to second it. Like, you know, of course, Crimsix retired very recently, just a few weeks ago, and I do wonder whether or if ever the kind of competitive drive in Crim is going to return. We know Crim is one of the most competitive players of all time, one of, well, of course, the best successes of all time in a competitive environment within esports. Esports, and you know, I'm sure he's looking out of the back of his mind, looking at FormaL, thinking, damn, this guy was kind of like, FormaL was not exactly forced to retire from COD. He would have been able to get a spot elsewhere in the league if he wanted to, going into Vanguard, but like the direction that COD was taking for FormaL, he wasn't a big fan of it. He wasn't enjoying the game so much, wasn't quite putting in the time that he used to be putting in, and therefore, like, he was like, you know, do I really want to go to Seattle or whatever team he could have gone to necessarily and try and make it work, or would he just prefer here into Vanguard, just, you know, call it a day and go into, well, either retirement or, as it turned out, Halo, right? So I do wonder if Crim is thinking to some degree, you know what, FormaL, of course, had some great tenure in Halo before coming to COD, but maybe there is a future in Crim to do something or other from a competitive perspective, even if it's not esports or whatever. Like, I'm sure Crim's competitive drive is still there to some degree, because people thought, you know, FormaL's going to hang it up and be done and dusted, and now he's back not just competing at a very high level, but also winning events for OpTic once again, which of course was his plan all along. Couldn't make it happen quite in COD, and now it's happening once again in Halo, right? As he says, it's only a matter of time. So yeah, great performance from, of course, the entire team. FormaL especially, I thought, was phenomenal all weekend. And like, when he initially returned, he was pretty good. Maybe wasn't the best player. Now he's looking like incredibly solid going forward through to the last few events. So yeah, what do you think from Crim's perspective? And I think this might have some sort of ripple effect for the other players that are kind of getting towards the end of their career. Of course, you know, it's kind of few and far between that a lot of these guys actually have like history in other games before they came to Call of Duty, like FormaL does in Halo. But I mean, look, it just kind of goes to show, right, that the way the game is going the last few years in Call of Duty hasn't been the most fun to play and obviously to watch at times, and I'm sure to compete in, and therefore a game that FormaL does find fun, all of a sudden he's having great success again, just like he's at his prime days in Call of Duty, right? So like, maybe it's a bit of a surprise, but it's still kind of remarkable how it's worked out. So these were how the tournament results played out. OpTic win at Cloud9 second, FaZe third, Sentinels fourth, the winners of the last event. They didn't perform quite at their level, maybe you could argue. This tournament, G2, G1 Adana as well, top 8 with Oxygen. That's kind of Boston Breach effectively. United, you know, TSS, and then Na'Vi top 12 as well. And this was the bracket, right? Just to go to show the dominance of OpTic throughout this entire winners bracket. They lost 2 maps in the entire bracket, in the entire winner side. They lost, what, 2 maps in pools? They were 9-2 in map count in pools. So to lose 4 maps in the entire tournament, like, that is, you know, straight up dominance, right? And it's difficult to see who is going to dethrone them come the World Championship. There is some great teams out there that put up a decent fight against OpTic, but no one could really match their level as the tournament progressed, right? So yes, next month the Halo World Championship begins. I guess OpTic have to go in as favourites, and yeah, certainly that storyline would be absolutely absurd if FormaL could somehow not just win a World Championship in COD, but also in Halo about 5 years later. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Shout out aBeZy Mack as well, who was working this event behind the scenes on the stat production side. Thought it was pretty cool to see this perspective from behind the scenes. But hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new as always, take care, and I'll see you next time.